What's up, family? This is your girl, Shamika, also known as Lady Queen. And y'all, I did it. God graced me to get in touch with Jay Song, and he is now here. Y'all requested it via email, and because y'all see how amazing even his YouTube channel is. And this is his lovely wife, Melody Song, a beautiful woman of God. I'm excited that she is on here also, and we're gonna talk about some stuff. You already know we talk a lot about XRP, but we definitely want to take not only the spiritual aspect, but also the analysis. And Jay Song is really amazing at that. And so whenever they requested it, y'all requested it, I said, you know what, let me reach out to him. I watched a few of his videos, and I'm like, definitely a believer and the fact that he also sees it. So I'm like, let's do this. What's up, Jay Song? How are you doing, sir?
Hey, welcome. Welcome me, right? Thank you for inviting me to as your guest today. I told some of my family, some of my friends that I was going to be on Lady Queen's channel, and I was like, yeah, it's our first YouTube collaboration video, and I'm just so really glad to be here. So
Definitely.
yeah,
What about you, Melody? What's up, honey?
Hi, thank you for inviting us to your channel, Miss Lady Queen. And
Yeah.
yeah, we're doing good.
So she is. Listen, guys, when I tell you she has the sweetest spirit, I love her so much. You know, she has the sweetest spirit. So we're gonna get into.
you guys don't know how much of a match she is for me. I'm thankful every day that God put her in my life and gave me her, because I needed somebody. A lot of people who think they know me, they like, oh yeah, that's him. I know this person. Like, you don't know, like this is like, I have a big side of me. I have extremes. I have the side that the world sees. I need to be strong. I need to be tough. I need to do all this stuff. But like, that's not my personality. That is not what behind closed doors, I actually get away from all that. And I'm just a very, I'm myself. And really, my wife knows me for who she is. So I won't say any more than that unless you know me, but there's a
Sweet guy. Even the way he talks about his wife, he is such a humble guy, and that's why I was like, I definitely want to collab with him because I love kingdom people, and I love just us coming together and really helping set people free. So we're gonna jump into that right now, okay, guys? We're gonna jump into that. Let me see something really. Okay, well, we're gonna jump into that really quick. Now, Jay Song, can you kind of tell people basically your dream? Because I know a lot of people have not heard your dream. Can you tell them the dream that God had given you dealing with the financial shift that's about to take place, the wealth transfer that's about to take place?
So the one I had that was right before the dream. These were back to back. At first, I thought they were dreams, but then the Lord reminded me that the one about the plane was not a dream; it was a vision. It's a very specific signature that visions had. When I was a young man, I used to get visions from the Lord from time to time, and then He was showing me how to activate that gift, and those are some very amazing times. And it's been a while since I had like visions, but this was one of the same things. What happened was, in a nutshell, I was standing on a platform in the middle of the ocean, and there was a big like a boat. Some people say it was like an ark, but I just remember it being very big and very wealthy. I just remember that it was white and it looked something like a yacht, but I just remember it being big. It didn't look like a cruise ship. It looked like just a wealthy yacht. And I was looking out over the ocean at the wreckage of a great crash. And in the dream, this was represented by a plane crash. And I saw the wreckage. People, it was like cut in half. I saw the seats were floating. I saw that people were everywhere panicking, but they weren't panicking for their lives. They weren't like, oh my gosh, we're drowning in the middle of the ocean. Nor was I panicked. I was like looking at people with curiosity. And I was standing on this, like, it looked like, like a helicopter landing pad without the H. It was just like a platform that was connected to the boat. So I was standing on some kind of platform at the time. And I was looking at the people swimming, and they were swimming towards their different luggages that they had. They were all searching through the plane for something of value. And I remember that. specifically. I was like, why are they looking specifically for their luggages? Like, most of these things are going to be at the bottom of the sea. Maybe they just want to keep them. Maybe they want to take them. At the time, during the dream, I didn't really comprehend all of it, but they were searching for their bags and whatever luggages and valuables they could find, and they were swimming them over. Everyone looked like they could swim. That wasn't really the case. It was that they were panicking because they were losing everything they had. And I was looking at the luggage, and some people didn't know to swim towards me, but there was a lot of people that were swimming towards me, and they took their luggages and they like chucked them into where I was standing behind me, almost as if like we're throwing a pile of luggages. And a lot of them were like using the ones that could float. They were using those clamshell luggages, and they were just throwing their. And I heard a word when I was watching this. They're casting their lot with you. And I was like, oh, that's very interesting. I remember sitting up awake and like coming out of it and like, whoa, that was really, really interesting. And that was the gist of it. And then when I went back to sleep, that's when I had the second dream, which was like, I call it the XRP dream, where and you can watch it. It's the link is the link will show. I'm sure she'll put the link in the description, or you can subscribe to my channel. And it was one of the very first videos I made. If not, it was the first video that I had made in this season. And that dream where I received a very, very special delivery. And when I had signed for the delivery, it said to the holders of XRP, and it said some other things I couldn't understand. And it said something. I wrote it all down, but basically, I had to sign my name specifically for that to receive that delivery. And then it was really odd. And it was really odd because at the end, the delivery man, he was getting the tool to open up his thing because he had so much stuff. He needed some help to unload all the stuff that was for me. And I was like, wow, this is very interesting. At the very end, this is what the man said. He was like, oh, I've been meaning to ask you, what do you know about, I've been wanting you to explain to me Sharon, the Rose of Sharon. What is the connection between you and Sharon, or something like that? He was telling me about this. And I was like, and I was about to kind of give him some biblical meaning, but that was when the dream immediately ended after that. And I was like, wow, that's really weird. And it's so unusual that you said it was a prophetess Sharon. She had a dream. She had a dream about XRP, and you guys should watch it. And you should watch that dream. She mentioned me and my dream that I had on her YouTube channel, and that's when my channel started. I started getting a lot of more people. It was growing really, really, really fast. But after my dream, I had that dream. I went to church. I told my brother-in-law. I was like, hey, I just had this dream, and I showed him on my phone. I was like, listen, I got to tell you. This is weird. I had these two things. I wrote them down and I showed them back to back. And then we just talked, and he was like, oh, that's really strange. And but it's kind of weird how all of these things are really connecting, and maybe there was some kind of connection that I haven't met Prophetess Sharon, but
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's what I think is happening, because I believe God is taking his people. And the reason why I was like, we definitely have to do this collaboration is because I truly believe that Jay-Song and Melody are, true people of God. And it's almost like a burden on my heart, or I say a burden, but just a desire on my heart to make sure that I warn the people of God, because I really believe that people are going to be fooled. They're going to lose a lot because of not understanding what God is doing in this season. And so, it's just become a passion where I'm like, God, you almost feel like a Noah, like telling people it's going to rain. It's going to rain. And either you can, definitely understand where you are and get on this boat, or you can deny and be like, well, this has never happened before. I don't understand this. And then end up getting locked out of it and actually end up, not being a part of that wealth transfer. So I wanted to definitely use it as a place of helping people or warning people, saying, hey guys, like, you have to pay attention to what's going on in the market. You have to pay attention to what's happening behind closed doors, as far as what, the financial system. And, right now with our banking system, they use what's called the SWIFT system. They call it a dinosaur because the SWIFT system, takes 3 to 5 business days to transfer money, and then it charges you a big fee. But yet XRP kind of answers a problem. It's the solution to a problem where if they use it for the bank, well, when they do the mass adoption and they use it for the banking system, they can actually do transfers, 10,000 transfers in 3 seconds. And so it answers a problem, but I believe people, because they're unsure about it and because they don't know about it, that they're going to end up missing out. And so I almost want to use it like a warning. And as far as even where the price will go, because right now XRP is 93 cents. Is that 93? Let's see. XRP right now is 94 cents. I'm sorry, 94 cents. And so just realizing that, you know what, if you get it under $1, and Jay Song talked about this, if you get it under $1, you will actually, be in good position. So with that, because I've had actually a lot of people message me and say, as a believer, do you believe that we should invest in XRP because of what's happening? Do you want to kind of answer that, Jay Song?
Yeah, let's talk about a couple things with that. And it is important to know that XRP is not just a cryptocurrency. People think of XRP like Bitcoin, and you need to know that Bitcoin has no utility. There's no, it's only worth something because someone else thinks it's worth something. It is just a store of value. It has no utility. We say, oh, wow, well, Ecuador is using it right now. You kidding me? He just, and you got to realize, it was AMC was in the news. AMC is using Bitcoin, and somebody posted the truth. They said, hey, who's gonna pay $50 to buy a $15 ticket? Because you got to understand that the more expensive Bitcoin gets, the higher cost it is to do transactions. And as Quincy said, on one of his channels with Matty G, he was saying that there's not even enough electricity in the whole world to use Bitcoin. So even if everyone in the world says, all the governments in the world, which you need bigger players, you need government players, you need big banking players. That's retail traders don't hold up the market. The moment that the big boys lose their hands, markets drop and crash. That's how markets work. I think it was one of the great traders, in the last century had said that I always know when to exit the market, and that's when the shoe shine boys and taxi drivers are telling me what stocks to buy. That's how you know it's time to get out. Because by the time it's left to them, there's no one left to sell it to. If I buy it from you, I'm buying it in hopes that I can sell it to someone else at a much higher value than I paid for it. That's how markets work. So if I keep selling it to somebody who sells it to somebody, sells it to somebody, that's kind of how markets are moved. But once you get up to the very top, you're talking retail traders. That's like traders like you and me. I can buy, if I bought 1 million shares, it doesn't really do nothing. You actually need big money moving in just to keep the volume stable. And when you remove that type of power, markets fall, and they fall very quick. Also, there's a split end that another reverse side of that, where if markets are actively being suppressed, and this is kind of advanced, they can actually be pushing down with selling power. And then when they release that selling power, you actually can see true prices rise up, kind of what's happening with the squeeze of AMC. But suffice to say that XRP is a utility. It has a function, and the function is that it is a bridge to connect the whole world as far as money goes, and economy and the movements. And these are on the Federal Reserve websites. These are on Ripple's websites. You have all the major players joining those people and going to their meetings and meeting in closed doors with the Ripple team. And Ripple is the custodian for XRP, by the way. They're just that. And you have the Bitcoin maxis with their Bitcoin t-shirts and everything showing up at their Bitcoin conferences, and it's just a fan club. That fan clubs don't pay the bills. Fan clubs don't connect the world. And you add all of this up with other things like China banning Bitcoin mining. So there's not going to be any more new Bitcoins that's coming out. The ones I've seen videos where they're taking bulldozers and running over fields of Bitcoin servers. I mean, the servers are like giant computer servers, and they're just running. They're like, you guys are using up way too much electricity. I mean, it's expensive to have Bitcoin. And XRP. What is XRP? XRP is, I think they said it was 57,000 times more electric efficient. 57,000 times more electric efficient. And the cost of Bitcoin, the more the Bitcoin gets higher, the more expensive it is to pay for everyday things with it. and and compared to XRP that it costs 0.0008 of a cent, 0.008 of a cent. That's nothing. It's basically for free. And I've been seeing videos of people paying for their whole house and using XRP, and they'll move like $200,000 in less than 5 seconds or 3 seconds, and that's it. Whereas closing houses on Swift takes weeks or sometimes days, like you said. I mean, it is the dinosaur. So what happened was Ripple let Swift test out their network. They can either have put Swift out of business, or they can work and join partners with Swift. So Swift said, okay, well, we're going to take our existing network and just funnel it all through yours and see how quick it works. And MoneyGram did that, and a few other places did that, and they've been testing it since 2017, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. They all use the word the Ripple coin, or they use the on-demand liquidity. And now whole countries are doing this. Now, before we go on, I'm going to take it one step further. On-demand liquidity requires massive amounts of money. Okay, you have when we're using I don't want to get into that, but I'll talk about this part. The money that is being used around the world currently is being in our cash. So we actually use physical cash to move around the world. But what do you hear every time you're turning on the TVs, and every time you're talking about the governments and they're having these meetings about money? What are they all talking about? They're talking about a digital currency, and we call them CBDCs. Okay, so you need to take like the wealth of an entire country, okay, the euro, the US dollar, and you're talking trillions of dollars, and you turn them all into a digital coin. So instead of getting the whole world to use everyone else's coin, or the whole world to use Bitcoin, or the euro coin, or the digital yuan, instead of getting the whole world to use that, they thought of something even more important, more special, and more simpler. And what they did was they created XRP, and it was actually created with the same IP address as Bitcoin. So you guys, there's a lot of homework involved with this. Bitcoin was the test, like prototype. The final version is Ripple. It solves all the problems that Bitcoin did. Bitcoin's actually being used to also, it's going to be used to expose a lot of bad things like fraud and money laundering and a lot of other stuff we can't get into in this video. But you guys need to know that that's how it works. So you have all this money, and it needs to filter through XRP because that's the bridge. Now, if that's the case, what happens to the price of XRP? For them to send billions of dollars, they can either send billions of dollars with millions of XRP or thousands of XRP, or they can just send it with one XRP and have one XRP be very expensive, like in at least $10,000. And if you have watched some of the interviews with some of the founders, they've actually talked about this, that when the switch is activated, and I call it the switch, and a lot of people call it the flip of the switch, when the whole world says, okay, we can run on that network now, everyone has to run on that network. Because once you have one major player, everybody has to join on board. And that's why you're going to see price boom through the roof on one day. Now, that has not happened yet. And I think that's what God's going to prepare us for. And we are going to see price do a lot of that. And right now we're entering a time where you're going to see a big boom, and they're going to tease people and get them to shake out of their XRP and sell their XRP. And then it's going to drop and it's going to crash. According to the prophetic, that's what they've been telling us what's going to happen with XRP. The XRP is going to fall, and the whole crypto universe is going to fall. But really only one of them is going to become the king. And when the flip of the switch is going to be XRP. And really there's a few more. They're called ISO's 222 coins. There's about maybe 6 major ones, and there's going to be other ones that are going to survive, but they need all that regulation. But regulation is going to be part of killing Bitcoin and killing all the cryptos. But when they flip the switch, they're waiting just for an emergency use case. And if they get the emergency, like we go through a global catastrophe or martial law or the military or something happens with the money and the money crashes, they'll all flip the switch, and we already have that system ready to go. And what else do you hear about TV every time you turn on TV? Cyber pandemic, cyber crash. Who's heard of that? Yeah, they're all talking all day long. Oh, are you getting ready for the cyber crash? Like, what if we're not? Our computers go down one day. Where they're trying to prepare everyone for that. What are they preparing people really for? A flip of the switch, a crash of the current system, and an activation of the new financial system. And some people believe it's part of the quantum financial system. And so that's that part of it.
This is why I told y'all after I had this discussion that definitely I was excited about getting him on here, because this seriously, you just taught me a couple of things that, you know, I didn't even know, and just hearing this. So when we talk about the flip of a switch, understanding that it's going to happen very, very, very quickly, I wanted to play this video. It is definitely, and then I'll let Jason definitely kind of talk a little more, because as you can see, he's very knowledgeable in the technical aspect and analytical aspect and the spiritual aspect. The brother has the package, you know, as far as what to say. And so and to help, but I just definitely want to open up, you know, as far as, hey, look, people of God, what's happening. And so this is definitely my heart's desire. I love doing this, but I want to show, because actually Jay Song is the one who told me about this, and I went look it up, because when we do talk about stuff, like, I want to see it for myself. That way I can teach other people. You know, I have to see it and then teach. So I want to show you exactly, and I'm going to add this right here. And Jay Song basic, and you can kind of talk, Jay Song, if you want to through this, because, you know, the video doesn't have any sound, and kind of explain to people, you know, what you believe this is, because this is from a guy's YouTube channel. His name is Q, and he put this on because he started videotaping when he saw what it was doing. So I'm gonna press play right here, and Jay Song, you can talk if you need to.
Sure. I saw 3 of these videos. I think the only one I saved was this, and I heard there was a 4th one. But basically what happens is, you look at the price of XRP, $142, $324, 18 cents. Now, this was somebody who turned on their computer for just a moment of time on their brokerage, and they saw the price of XRP shooting up, like, over in a very short amount of time, very, very high, to extreme levels. This can only happen when big money is transferred in. I mean, big money. And because it can force the bigger players of the world to join on. Everyone, like, there's like 90 countries that are already signed on with the Ripple system, which is XRP. Look at $24,000, 15 cents, 8,000. We went down to 8,822, $37,000. People say, "Oh, this is crazy. This is got." But if you watch actually the end of this video and some of the others, you'll look in the recorded section that you'll see that price was still recorded as this glitch. When the person hits refresh at the end of this video, then what happens is the price immediately goes back down to what it is, and we call this the glitch, as like a test of an activation. I know this may seem hard to believe. $149,000. I know this may seem hard to believe, but if you were paying attention to the down detectors, I don't know if you guys watched the down detector, $156,000. The down detectors were $173,000. Where our website that tells us which websites are down, and you may or may not have been noticing, but I collect information. Also, there's people in communities who send me information about these kind of things. And where I have seen was that there were days when all banks were like down for like an hour. There were times when like MoneyGram, you know, Bank of America, Chase, you know, Wells Fargo. There was days when certain systems were just complete down, 160,000. There are times when everything was down all at one time, or when certain networks, like, you know, providers like cell phone networks were down. Certain websites, gaming websites. There are people who believe that the Starlink network is actually activated. You know, if you look in the sky and you see all that looks like a train of stars in the sky, it's actually part of a traveling satellite internet system that's not using our current internet. And that currently there are people who believe that our current internet is actually being suppressed, and the real prices of certain things and certain commodities are actually much different than how they really are. And I want to say something in the prophetic, not me, but something that I've received that I received from somebody, a prophet that I trust. This person had sent me a prophetic word when there was a time of prophecy. And one of the things that they had found was that the current prices of Bitcoin are not the current prices of Bitcoin. That it's actually much, much, much lower. but the reason it's supported is because of bad things, and I can't go any more than that. But I can say that the price is actually not correct, but it's the price you'll pay. Now, the reason it still works right now is because you can sell Bitcoin for, the current price. It's in like $30,000, something like that, and you can collect gold, and you can buy physical gold, which is God's money, and you can use that kind of gold and convert it to real precious metal. But the prices that you see on internets and everything, like 176,000, these things are manipulated and suppressed. And so we don't know the things we don't know. So I have a very open mind about all of these kind of things, especially when I collect things from the Intel community, things from the prophetic community that tell us the crypto winter is coming, and also that XRP really will boom. And we have some projections. I want to say one thing. What I do personally is I actually don't just collect intel from prophetic community, from the Intel community. I actually do technical analysis. So what I do is I actually draw on price and to collect using the history of price. I draw, and I have a channel where I'll even draw live in front of you guys. You can see, and then I take pictures of the charts and I produce what is called a map. So, people think price is very random. It just goes up and it goes down, and they don't know why it goes up. Maybe Elon Musk was having a bad day, so he tweeted out and then price went down. And a lot of people don't know how price actually really works. And it actually uses catalysts. So if price is going up, right, and there's a roof here, and I know that there's a roof here because of how I can draw, and price is hitting that roof like a fly hitting the roof, and I can see that price is getting weak. All we need is just a bad day, and price will drop like a rocket. It could be Elon Musk tweeted, or it could even be good news, and price will fall. What? How does that happen? It happens, and it's been happening in the markets for a long time. You've seen stuff that has fantastic news. Nothing happens on price action. It actually goes down sometimes. You'll see something that goes up on bad news, and it'll have a bad news, and price goes the opposite way. So on TV, all they do is on the news channels, they'll try to say, oh, price went up because of, and they always try to find a reason. And that's how it's been for a long time with price. And I learned that also from Wyckoff. And there's a group called TradeGuider.com. They teach you how to read volume spread analysis. I'm not an affiliate of them or anything like that, but it's a great place to learn how to understand price a little bit deeper. If not, just come to my channel and just watch me enough. I may not look like it because my wife is so young, but I have been trading for about 19 years, reading price action. The first 11 years I spent losing a lot and not figuring out the correct way to draw. But I would print out all my charts and I would say, what did I miss? What did I miss? Keeping that mentality of what did I miss and constantly going over my charts led me to discover secrets that can help me understand price behavior and have a high success rate of knowing what most likely is about to happen. So now I'm trying to get simpler and simpler on my channels by just drawing like an arrow. We're going here. So if you guys are new and you don't know what a crypto is and you guys don't know what to do, and that's where I come in. Our team is really good. And what we do is I have a chart room. You can join me in our community room on Telegram, and there's a lot of people that can chime in, and I'll be posting there. Or you can just join me if you don't have Telegram. You can also just join me on Patreon, and it takes a donation of any dollar amount. It could be $1, it could be $1 million, but you'll have access to my charts. I give my charts for XRP for free. So every day I post Monday through Saturday. I'll be posting XRP charts to let people know, hey, this is where we're going. This is what's been happening. This is the story behind price. And if you can understand the story, you'll know if for the most part we should be going up, should we going down, or we're going sideways, or we're getting mixed signals. And there's times when I'm really excited about price, and I'll let you know. I'm like, oh, guys, we're sitting on a support. It's here. We're sitting on a phantom support, or I'll tell people things like that. Or, hey, we're going down because we're clearing here. We need to go down, and we could be going to such and such level. And I'll give you guys those levels in advance. Sometimes I'll give them days and sometimes weeks in advance because of how you're able to draw. So that's what we do at Jason's chart room on YouTube.
Now, just because, people have asked me this a lot, and this isn't something that God revealed to me in my dream. And I just want to make sure I'm prepared, because whether it comes like a thief in the night, listen, I want to make sure I'm prepared. But do you see like a time frame for this to happen, as far as the crypto crashing and then XRP, I guess, kind of taking its rightful place and taking off? Do you see it? Like, when do you see that, I guess, happen? Can you give us a time frame? And then the next question I would ask is there a possibility that, because I know XRP is considered the banking token and XLM is considered the people's token. I learned that last night. Thank you, subscribers, for even helping your girl out. But they believe that we understand that XRP is the banking token and XLM is the people's token. Could the government ever make us give up our XRP and say, okay, we'll buy it out from you at a certain level where we couldn't ride up? Or, and then we'll just have to stick with XLM, like, kind of. So both of those questions, do you see a time frame, and is there a possibility the government could do this?
Yes. So thank you for your question. So there are some things about XRP and XLM. XLM is part of the ISO 222 coins, which means that it's one of the tokens that will survive a crypto winter. It's not saying it can't crash, but when they flip the switch, it's one of them that will be doing well. And the others are like XDC, I think QNT, XRP, and there are some reports from some older intel that we received that some of these coins are actually tied to precious metals, XLM being silver. There are some that are tied to platinum. XDC, I know it's tied to copper. And then there are some reports that XRP is actually tied to gold, and it'll be pegged to the price of gold. And if you watch the interviews of the gold people, they were saying, we would love to get gold in the open market beyond the manipulation, because right now it's being manipulated. Okay, but after the flip of the switch, all that ends in the real price of gold. I lost my wife. I need my wife. The real price of gold will be able to go up higher. And you're going to see a similar thing, but I don't know if it's going to be one for one. There you are. Oh, I needed you.
I'm sorry, my sister called.
Oh, your sister. Okay. So there's that part. Now, will a government be able to buy XRP? That's a good question. People say that XRP is centralized. It is not centralized. Ripple is a custodian. They're distributing. Okay, they're distributing all the shares. There's only, I think it was like 1 billion that was ever released, and that's it. So it could be a government coin. And they say the XLM, if they say it's a people's coin, what is the people's metal? Silver. Silver is the people's metal. So there's another connection there. If the people use silver in our day-to-day basis, that is something that can happen. But I want to take everything in context. The first thing I want to look at is one government alone is not big enough to control everything. Even the SEC, all this lawsuit, has nothing about the activation of XRP, because that's still slated to be in use in the first countries on a mass scale November. And I think it's Europe. Even though Japan is using it in some capacity, the first of the countries that signed up, it already launches in November with or without America. That's why you hear there's so much stuff talking about it right now, because it needs to pass this regulation. Also, we heard some prophetic words that it's somewhere around possibly October. So we could really see that flip of the switch, but it has to fall from the ashes. So there's a high chance that we can see the crash before October. Now, if we have a crash before October, that means we have to experience some kind of boom. And that's where I come in with the charts and the data. And that's where I come in with some intel as well. So my data tells me that right now we're going to $1.27. That's what I can chart. And you can watch my previous videos on how I'm showing the charts. We're going there. There's some challenges along the way. There was a major trend line that price had to beat, but Bitcoin had the same trend line, and Bitcoin beat it today. It beat it. It just went right through and sat on top of it. So I think over the next few days, Bitcoin's going to get some pressure and then jump up, or it could be tonight, or it could be tomorrow. It could be that. Now, I've been watching XRP, and it's doing the same thing, and it's about to face its major resistance. So when I saw that happen on Bitcoin, I'm like, oh, wow, that's a really good sign, since all of them are like the same moves right now. kind of peculiar, but I think XRP is going to go boom and sit on that line, and then we're going to hit 127. Okay. So that's something there. I don't think the governments of the world would have to get together to regulate that together to buy back. Because remember, if I don't want to own my XRP in the United States, I can keep a wallet that's offshore. You can have those wallets. They cannot confiscate everyone's XRP because who really owns it? The SEC is even saying, you know what, we really don't even have jurisdiction over these things. And they're admitting that in some of their things. And that's why the case is just a sham. And really, what did they do? They settled with another Policy yesterday, something like that. There was another cryptocurrency that the SEC, they just settled. They were like, okay, we'll settle out of court. Give us some money and we'll be done. So somebody had said on one of their channels, they said XRP, the SEC is in a settling kind of mood lately. And that leads me to what I keep getting so much questions about. The ultimate question, I'm going to share it here. What is week 33? Okay, week 33. Now, why is week 33 important? Week 33 is August 15th through, I think it's like up until the Monday. After that, I would include those days in there. And what is going to happen? You need to mark this on your calendars because we don't have much time. That's why I'm going to release my dream video. Like on Saturday morning, I'm gonna release my new dream video. Because this is very, 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 very important. The Intel community, gosh, okay, XRP has some roots that were not good. I shouldn't say it's roots, but it had plans. There was plans. And the prophetic community also said this too, that there was plans for XRP that were of the devil. They were demonic. They were plans to try to force a one world currency and force you to take the mark of the beast on your right hand or your forehead. That was what they were going to do. Can you believe that? It's crazy. And so what happened is somewhere along the line, those plans have been foiled and changed. And sure enough, that if you were to have, and I'm gonna play the scenario before I get into before I do this. If you were to have one bridge between my currency and your currency, between a Japanese currency and American currency, if everyone uses that, right? After a while, people are going to come up to, saying, hey, why are we doing this? If I have my money and I send it to a bank, that bank holds my money and that bank sends it to your bank and that bank sends it to the customer. And then XRP comes along and says, hey, guys, I can just send the money for you. So why are you doing this? Eventually, people are going to start saying, you know what, why don't I just send it directly to you since we're all using the same underground network anyway, XRP. They're all just shooting the money through and it comes out the other end in 3 seconds. So eventually, banks are going to be a thing of the past in the capacity that they are currently right now. They're going to be a use for banks, but it's not going to be like how it is today. This is just basic math of where this is going. If everyone's using one thing, eventually it's like that. I watched the movie Cars. Have you seen Cars, my wife? You haven't seen it? Oh, I gotta show it to you. It's so good. I can't believe we didn't watch it together. We'll go watch it. Cars is such a movie where it's a Disney movie, Pixar movie, where there was this beautiful town, everyone's using it and have a great time, but they built a road and it kind of just bypassed that little town. So you used to have to stop at that pit stop, and it used to be a bustling kind of quiet town. Everyone loved it. And then they built the highway, the super highway. When they built that super highway, no one needed to stop there and go off the road unless you got lost. And so people stopped visiting that, and the town was forgotten about. That's why banks fighting so hard, and the SEC is fighting so hard, and government people who are being paid by banks are fighting so hard to keep you from knowing about XRP and to keep XRP from being activated as long as possible. Those are some of the reasons. Okay, you understand? So they want them off the books because eventually there's not going to be a need for anyone else because we're sending money all through. So if you really understand the interledger network, if the interledger network itself also is a money or a type of currency in XRP, then it's very possible that the XRP could have been set up as a one world currency. Or if one person could control that network, which you can't right now, But if one person could just control it, then whoever the Antichrist could come in and force people to use it. However, I want you guys to be aware of something. It is the love of money that is the root of all evil. It is not money itself. Amen. Money is not evil. God said in the book of Genesis, he said, I give you the gold, and the gold is there over there, and the gold of that land is good. Okay, remember that? So that's what he said. So we need to know that there is a plan for money that the devil has, and there's a plan for money that God has, and it's the same with XRP. So the prophetic community is revealing that really XRP is like a Trojan horse, and the Trojan horse they had a. Have you heard the story of the Trojan horse, my wife?
What?
The Trojan horse. Have you heard it? It's a story where there was like this big wooden horse that they give as a gift that to, I think, the people of Troy gave as a gift to their enemy. And it was like the beautiful wooden horse. It was huge. Yeah, it was called the Trojan horse from Troy. And they put this horse and they said, here's your gift. We love you guys. And they were like, oh, okay. So they accepted the gift and they were like, woohoo, we got this horse. Yay, get it. And then what happened was, in the middle of the night, while they're all having a party, the horse gets cut open and people were hiding inside of the horse. This was a walled city that no one could get in. But if somebody could get on the inside, they can destroy the system from the inside. They could destroy the city. So the guys who were losing the war, the Trojans, hid inside the horse, some of their skilled men, and they hid them inside the horsey. In the middle of the night, where everyone's having a party, they cut out of the city and they came out of the horse and started striking down the middle of the city secretly until they overtook the city and they opened the doors and they let all the good guys in and they conquered that city. And that is what is happening with XRP and what God is doing. God saw the path of the enemy in the Bible and has as we say, what the enemy meant for evil, God will turn around and use for the good. That is what's happening with XRP. And that's why we're positioning ourselves right now to be on the great side of this transition. Right now, we know from the prophetic community that money, well, maybe you guys don't know this, but money itself, physical money, paper money is going to have a major, problems. And we're already seeing that in news. They're printing money in trillions into oblivion. Our dollars are becoming worthless. And unless we go back on the gold standard, which secretly we are, behind the scenes, and that hasn't been revealed or hasn't been activated. But unless that things happen, then our current money is going to make a lot of people scared. People are going to be thinking they're losing their fortune. They're going to be losing their mass wealth. And you're going to see markets fall, crashes fall, cryptos fall, stock markets fall. Gold and silver are going to skyrocket during those times. And some of the prophets are calling me up saying, hey, we're receiving prophetic words that God's telling us to buy some gold and buy some silver and have it ready. And more things than that, which I can't tell you. But if buy gold and buy silver, because when that happens, shoo. And that's why my wife, she has more silver than me. yeah, you actually do now. So but I've been buying XRP, so there's a switch of money happening, money from the hands of people and the world players into the hands of the common people like you and me. Because what's the price of XRP? It's again under $1, like you said, Lady Queen. So these things have to happen for the price, and I really believe these things are going to happen this year.
Man, when I tell you that is just mind blowing. And and when people ask me, I'm like, really, that's something that was not revealed to me. But even to hear like us just being prepared and what's going on, it definitely helps the kingdom of God. So I'm grateful even for the information you brought. When I tell you, this is seriously game changer. And you know what, even when he was talking about how the market's going to go like this, one thing that I believe when I read, it was in Hebrews chapter 4, where it talked about that God would begin to shake the heavens and the earth, so that what's meant to remain will stay. And then, also reading Joel 3, where it says that he was taking back the inheritance of the people of God to give it back to them. But I think that's what makes people afraid, Jason, is the fact that when they hear, mark of the beast, it's like, oh, well, we need to
stay away from that.
Stay away. And believe me, Shamika's not getting any mark on her hand or on her forehead.
And
okay?
you don't need to with XRP. You don't need to.
Exactly.
That's not.
It's kind of like in the enemy's camp, and people are afraid to go into the enemy's camp because, oh, that's the enemy. And so this is kind of the look.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what do you think about that?
Well, remember in the Bible, how the Israelites were so many times scared to face the enemy head on. They waited for a sign of the Lord, or like Jonathan, when he was like, "Hey, we're all dying here. You know what? If we're gonna die, we might as well go up and fight, and let's do it." So one day he got some of his men. He got his right hand man, and he said, "Let's go up. We got these swords." So they were so poor at that time they couldn't even afford some swords. They were like the king and the son were like the only people who had weapons, real weapons. And so they said, look, let's go up to the cliffside and let's go challenge them. Let's go challenge the Philistines, because we'll wait for a sign from the Lord. And if the Lord says something like, hey, if he wants us to fight him, then maybe through the bad guy's going to give us a sign that he can be defeated. So the bad guy will say, hey, come up here and we'll teach you a lesson. If he says, come up here, then we know that the Lord has given that into our hands and where the battle's going to be a success. But if they say, hey, what are you doing down there? Let's come down and fight you. Then we know that, hey, we better run away. The signs, we're going to get some green lights. Okay. And sure enough, those Israelites said, hey, what are you doing down there? Come up here and let's teach you a lesson. So then he looked at his buddy and said, hey, guys, we got the green light. We're going to win this battle. I think that through the prophetic, and I think that through the intel and through the data of the charts, like this stuff is looking good. It's looking strong. And the markets are looking good. And one thing I want to say too is that before we have that crash, we are going to experiencing some big booms. So there's going to be time to take profits. And there's people who are selling me dreams that saying, hey, I was told to take a profit at a certain level and then buy back again. But you can do that, and you do need to be careful, because there's going to become a time when it's going to go down so quick that you're not even going to be able to put your orders in. And so some of you guys shouldn't be worried about trading. Some of you guys just need to buy and just watch the show. As some of the people say, get out your popcorn and watch the show, because it's going to be one bumpy ride. But for those who can hold on, I mean, we're going to could you imagine going to $120 XRP? I'm telling you, from the data, I can see that that's on the table. It's a possibility, 120. Now, personally, I think we're only going to hit about around $99 of XRP during all of this boom. I think compiling some of the data from some of the prophets. I like the pastor from Robin from Fireside Grace Ministries, and then some people, the dreams they're collecting, they're seeing like $9 XRP, and then back and then around that range, and then lower amounts. But they're seeing also different things. So I really think some of the data points that we're going to hit $12 XRP real soon, and it could be this week 33. Oh my gosh, I got to go back into week 33. Okay, a lot of people don't know what week 33 is. In a nutshell, the Intel community, these people who are the elites, we'll call them the elites, okay? The illuminated elites and things like that. As crazy as this sounds, they speak in code.
Can I turn off my camera yet? Because Taya wants to go out. The door is closed.
Oh, gosh. I'll see you soon.
Your breakfast
take it to the potty. We got a new dog, a Siberian Husky. And my wife's just been begging me for a dog. And I said, okay, well, if you want a Siberian Husky, you need to watch the movie first. You need to watch the movie Below 8 Below, so you can see what kind of dog they're, like a snow dog. So us living in warmer climates, we bought a bucket of ice, filled it with ice. Dog jumps right in there and lies down. It's a bucket of ice. Like, this dog's constantly going in the fan. Will you show Taya to us?
Oh, she just went out. That's why.
When she comes back in, you show her. Bring her to the camera, okay? We'll show her on camera. So these people speak in codes, and they speak with pictures and images and a lot of things. And you've heard me talk about that in some of my other heart-to-heart videos and things. But I want you to know that they have other things that are called deltas, where they'll send a message years in advance or a year in advance, and when we come to certain days, those codes will be revealed as something important. There are people who speak in images and only coded images because they are not for the masses to know. It's almost like how the Bible says, these things have been revealed, hidden from the learned and the wise, and been revealed to babes. So, God will choose the little things of the world and reveal to you the secrets. And these are things people have been trying to figure out for years. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I did get a comment the other day, and somebody says, "Man, I've been watching technical analysis videos for about 8 years, and I learned more from you in 1 hour than I learned in all those years of watching the technical analysis videos." And I was like, "Oh, praise God," because I teach in a very unique way, and I use a very special method that it took me years to learn. I mean, I didn't want to give this information out when I first did my technical analysis. I didn't want to tell about the sword method. I wanted to charge like $1,000, $2,000 for like a weekend course, where I teach people and I give you my book and how the secrets are, and I make sure you don't tell anybody else. That's that was my plan. I wanted to do like some kind of thing, but I think I just when I started seeing people losing too much money, I started saying, you know what, I need to get this out to the people. People need to start understanding what charts are, because nobody understands even how to read price action. So that's where I came in. But week 33 is these decodes are pointing to a time in August 22nd, and every 22nd of the months thereon, there's big things that happen, milestones. But in the prophetic, prophets have been contacting me saying, "Hey, there's a date later this month," which I can't give, okay? But it's not today, and it's not tomorrow. I can say that. But later this month, there's some dates that we've been getting for some big pumps. Now, we knew there was big pumps pumping on 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. And we've been seeing those big pumps. But the Intel community also said that as of July 22nd, there was going to be green candles. And what happened since, I think it was July 22nd, we've been going down. Also, some of the Intel community, and these are insiders who work at Ripple and work with XRP, they've been posting certain dates that they said, "Hey, you need to take, this is basically the top," but they say it in a coded way, and it goes down. Or if you take things like Elon Musk, he tweets like, words, and you take them in a calculator, in a Hebrew calculator, and you reveal them, what he actually said was like XRP, go, 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 or buy XRP, and other things. I mean, these are top people talking back and forth, and you think they're talking about something else. Or there's a word in their picture, and you take those words and you decode them in their calculators, and they turn out to say things like XRP settlement complete. And it's like behind closed doors. Like, if all the things we're watching is just a show, and we've known about it, and we've known it's a show because they revealed their whole plan. There's like powers that be underneath the powers that be that we're not privileged to see. But God knows all these things anyway, and he reveals them to his people. Anyway, long story short, all of that is pointing to this coming week, that something big is going to happen. I think we're going to have a big pump. So for people looking to take profits, I think we're going to see some big numbers, and this is just the beginning. I don't think this is the end. I think that along the lines with the Prophet Robin, he was talking about Dodge hitting 1930, 1930, 1930, 19, and then a higher number, and then a crash, a big crash. So I think that actually plays out. When I looked at the charts, I got that message sent to me. I think it was like right before he posted a video about this recently, in private, from one of his contacts, who is a friend of him. So I haven't even met the guy, but he sent me some things, and some of his contacts are contacting me saying, "Hey, what did the chart show?" And I looked at some of those numbers. I was like, "Whoa, Dodge! There's a sword cut right at that level. We could be experiencing a reversal when we get there." And there was some setups that were happening from 19 cents. I was like, "Wow, this matches the data." So they come to me saying, "Hey, this is what God is saying. What does the data say?" So does that line up? And so the data is pointing that we are about to experiencing jump up to 12 cent, 127 around there. And after that, if we beat that level and we sit on top of that, then there could be a clear jump to about $12. But why would that happen? Well, I think the settlement is going to be announced. The XRP SEC settlement. The first time that this was really released, price shot up to $3. And it shot up very quickly. And then the SEC said, oh, we're going to sue you. And then price shot back down. And then turns out it's all a joke. It's all, they admitted their own selves on live TV that, you know, that Ripple, you know, the outcomes. And so now we're just waiting for the SEC to step away. And what are you going to see? A big pump in price. Is that the activation we're talking about? No. But is it a time to make a lot of money in the short term? Probably. Is this financial advice? No, nothing you see on this video is financial advice of any kind. I eat red crayons for breakfast and I often get a tummy ache. If you eat red crayons for breakfast, you're probably going to get a tummy ache too. My wife, she loves to eat red crayons. That's why her dresses are often red. It's a lot of times from the residual of as she's eating, it falls in like Cookie Monster. My wife is the same way. But her dress used to be white. Anyway, that's my little YouTube disclaimer that this is not financial advice of any kind. So just remember that when we talk. Oh,
definitely, man. This is awesome. This is awesome. Yeah. Before I close it out, because we are hitting that
yes,
you know, that 1 hour mark. And when I tell you, we could talk on this forever, because actually, I think the first time we talked, all three of us talked for about three, maybe 4 hours, because this is serious stuff, and you have to be prepared. You have to have a mindset that's prepared. But before we close out, is there anything, Jason, that you might want to? Because I do believe, you know, we are part of those people that kind of help warn, hey, this is about to happen. You know, to be attentive, to be aware. The Bible tells us to be wise as serpents, but harmless as doves. So, you know, is it like, is there something that you want to tell them to help them have peace of mind of what will take place?
I want people to know that we have to be shaken. There's going to be a shaking point. It's something that happens because the powers that be in the earthly realm don't want you to have XRP. And they don't want me to have XRP. They don't want regular people to have XRP. So they're going to try to shake you out and make you scared. But they have to give you a piece of what you want first. So if you're having XRP right now, if you bought at 50 cents or you bought at $1 and they give you $12, are you going to take it? Because not everyone here is a trader, and you guys shouldn't be trading. Some people shouldn't be like on their phones and, oh, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to sell, I'm going to buy it, because you have no idea what you're doing and you're not trained. Okay. If you want to do that, you know, you can follow Lady Queen. She is a trader. She's learning and to teach you guys. She's sharing a lot of to help you get up to those levels of trading. There's people who are doing order entry. Some of you guys don't know how to do it on your phones fast enough. So you shouldn't be trading. If you have a gambling mindset, or you're just so close. Now, I've been kind of focusing on the larger time frames lately because of the type of people that is coming to me. A lot of people who are coming to me have no idea what to do. So it's a lot easier for me to share maybe 1 or 2 charts on the big scales in a video a day, rather than like 2 or 3 or 4 trades a day, because that's too much for people to follow. They don't know which the important trades are and which are the intraday trades. Now, if you want that, you can join our chart room. There are some traders that do. Jason does a good job, intraday trading on like a 15-minute chart. But I want people to know that there's a temptation to get into that area where you're going to just be playing up and down, up and down. And if that's you, I need you to just remember, they're going to offer you some attractive numbers. But as we heard in the prophetic in private, the word that was shared with us was that it's going to be minuscule compared to what's coming. That this settlement and the money, if we go to $12 or even $100, that's nothing compared to the grand scheme of things. What? How can you say that? Well, think about Bitcoin. When Bitcoin came out, it was $2. Okay, now Bitcoin it went up to $60,000. Is $12 anything? Is $100 anything in compared to a $60,000 token for one token? We're talking about $1 XRP, and there's going to be a lot of people that will be selling, and they really shouldn't when we get to $12. But I think we're actually going to be hitting 12 back to the lowest highs of $3, and then we're going to be going up from there. But then I don't know when that crash is going to be coming. I can tell you I'll be here with you guys when that happens. I'm going to be watching the markets to see if it gives us signals. But if things are external that I cannot chart, then we can experience a big crash. So you want to be prayed up. Lord, should I be selling at this and buying back at lower prices? Will we get those numbers, that profit share, and talk about 25 cents XRP, 35 cents? And can you buy at those levels? Because there's people saying it's going to go down so quickly, you won't have a chance to get it. So that's for some people. So you need to be praying about all these things, about what you're going to do. And we'll be here with you, Lady Queen. She's going to be with you guys all that step of the way, and I'll be with charts too. So yeah, I want to leave you guys with that.
So make sure, guys, that you follow Jason on his YouTube channel. You can look him up by typing in Jason, and you'll see him. He actually has the music. Well, it looks like a music note, but it's an S with a J inside of it, and it has the candlesticks inside of that. So definitely look him up, follow him. Also, you can go to his Telegram group because definitely he does release charts in there, and you can even kind of see even his, I guess, kind of his brain, his thought of it, because he does kind of explain at the bottom. There you go. There's the logo right there. So you see that, go to his YouTube channel and go look him up and definitely follow him. That way, as he puts it out, it's right there, guys, with the candlesticks on the inside. So as he puts it out, you can definitely follow along and say, okay, God, lead me, and then help me to even see exactly when, because I know sometimes YouTube doesn't announce it right away, but even God, allow me to see it right when it happens, so I can definitely follow in what I should do at this season, at this time. And then, of course, I don't want to forget about the lovely Melody. Honey, Queen, do you have anything to say before we close it out?
Well,
she's so sweet.
Yeah, so maybe let's just trust the Lord, whatever will happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, because he said he has a plan for us. In Jeremiah 29:11, he said, I have a plans for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare, not for evil, but
yes,
to give you a good future and a hope. So just hold on to that promise of the Lord, and yes.
Amen. Definitely. I thank you even so much to remind people of that, because he gave us a promise, and that's one thing he cannot do. He cannot fail. So if he gives us a promise, he has to come through with what he promises. So definitely.
He's a promise keeper.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Yeah, I said he's a promise keeper.
Definitely. Look, that is some wise words from a wise woman. Definitely, he is a promise keeper. So I hope this helps somebody. If you want to contact Jason, please do so. Jason, you want to tell him what your email address is, and I'll try to also link it below, guys.
Yeah, you can put the link, and then I think she's gonna put like a link of one of my videos in there, because I didn't know how to share the channel link, but if you just click on one of my videos, you can hit subscribe, and then you can see the link to my Patreon page, for just charts, or you can see the links to our Telegram group where I answer questions right there live. You can always send a direct message to me right through the Patreon. If you do need to email me, I am going to be having one of my assistants, and they're going to be helping me with a lot of the emails that we're doing, because we are getting a lot of volume of things. So I'm going to be helping them, because there's things I want to do in the channel that's going to be really, really fun, and I need some help, because making the videos and making the charts, and it takes a long time. So me and my wife were talking about what we're going to do about that, and so we came up with some good ideas. So but yeah, she's gonna you can email me at j.song7784@icloud.com. That's j.song7784 at icloud.com. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. That's awesome, and make sure, guys, listen. He's about to hit a mile mark, and even me also about to hit another mile mark. Go ahead and press the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free to press subscribe, and then definitely become a Telegram member. Even if you believe in what he's doing, become a Patreon member and say, look, even if it's $1, even if it's $2, just to say, hey, I just want to help in this aspect, and we do this because we seriously love the kingdom of God, and we want to see you prosper. We want all the wealth that has been laid up, we want you to have that. So we want to be those conduits of what God is doing. We want to continue to be those conduits. So, also I want to shout out Victor. Thank you so much, Victor, for becoming a member, one of the newest members to the YouTube channel. And I love to shout you guys out. Thank you so much. Now, if you found value, make sure you press the thumbs up button. That way you tell YouTube, you know what, there's some value on that channel. You might want to pass it out. And then go ahead and press that also on the YouTube video that I link below for Jay Song, because that tells YouTube, you know what, they're actually speaking real value, and you want to show more people, because it's about getting the message out. Okay, we want to get that message out to people. But thank you guys so much. Listen, if you change your mind, you'll change your life. So if you change the way that you think, your life will forever change. But guess what, you're your only limitation. You're the only one that limits you. So stop limiting yourself. Be great. Allow God to be great in you. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.